Hey, thanks for coming back, folks. Today on the table we have another little Winchester shotgun. This may be, they made 116,000 of these things, but it's not as well known as some of the other stuff that Winchester made. This is the Winchester Model 24 side-by-side shotguns. And these were made in the United States by Winchester, and they were introduced in 1939 in 12 gauge. And then 16 gauge and 20 gauge in 1940. And this is a 20 gauge first year gun, 1940 gun by serial number. They stayed in the Winchester catalog through 57 with a cleanup and sold through 1958. So they were gone well before 1960. So by definition, I guess every one of them's a pre-64. There's no such thing as a post-64. And a lot of people, when they talk about the Model 24 shotgun, they say it was a poor man's Model 21. The Winchester 21 was a premium grade side-by-side shotgun. And the two guns, other than the fact that they have barrels that are next to each other and they're made by Winchester, that's really the only two things that are similar between those two models, the 21 and the 24. It's a completely different style of action, completely different shotgun in all ways, and very, very different price point even through the used market today. So this gun again came out in '39. Winchester needed a more utilitarian shotgun. The 21 was already in line at the time, and they needed a more utilitarian, lower priced field gun to compete with the Savage Stevens line of shotguns, the things like the Fox B, things of that nature. So they did that with the Model 34. And there's a lot of design features that evoke the Model 37 single shot. We've already done a video on that gun. There's no hammers in this gun. Most box lock guns like this one have internal hammers. This one does not. There are two strikers in here. It's a striker-fired shotgun. So it's very similar. Maybe not a completely fair statement, but it's like two Model 37 shotguns put together. And the result of that is we have a very wide receiver, and that's one of the complaints. The biggest complaint about the Model 24 throughout its production run, and probably the reason why 116,000 guns in 19 years never really caught on that much, and because of the aesthetics and because of some of the ways that the design came out. So it's very wide here. Most double shotguns, the barrels actually extend beyond the frame. The frame is trimmer than this, but this has a rounded frame similar to like the Ruger Gold Label, things of that nature, but those are a bit more refined from my hand anyway, particularly in 12 gauge. In 12 gauge, this is a really clunky gun. In the 20 bore, and this is a 20 gauge gun. Excuse me, this is a 20 gauge gun, so it's a bit slimmer. It's a bit easier to the shoulder. It's a bit easier to swing than the 12 gauge. That said, these guns are extremely durable. It is unusual to find one that is broken. This one came into the repair shop because it's got an issue with the top lever trip when you close it. We'll open it up in a second. I'll show you what I'm talking about and what we intend to do to fix it. But it's unusual for them to have a problem. So a ton of them are still in use today. And you see a lot of them available on the secondary market with a lot of finish wear and just general signs of having been used now for 60-something years. So this gun, 1940, 20 gauge, 26-inch barrel gun. And this gun is choked, cylinder bore, and modified, which is a super choke combination for dove and quail, especially with a 20 gauge gun. That, to me, is, I really can't think of a better dove combination for Southeast Texas dove hunting than cylinder and modified. So it would be a great gun for that. The guns were all field guns. There were no checkered stocks. There were no ventilated ribs. There was no embellishment on the receiver. They were always double triggers. And the double triggers is another part that was not very popular on this model. The triggers are relatively straight and they're relatively close together, and a lot of people did complain that it made the gun a little bit more difficult to shoot. Safety is automatic. When the gun is opened, it brings the safety back, and you have to push the safety forward to fire. But that's pretty much standard for most side-by-side shotguns. So this trigger guard is a heavy gauge stamped metal. So there was a lot, but there was a lot of stuff done to make it less expensive and easier to produce at a moderate recoil for people, especially in those in the post World War II era. Well, 1939, 1940, economy still wasn't that great, so they really needed that price point shotgun, if you will. So let's open it up real quick and show you what some of the markings look like on this gun. In 12 gauge, they were available in 26 inch, 28 inch, 30 inch, and then in 16 and 20, they were available in 26 inch and 28 inch barrels. And again, this is a 20 gauge with 26 inch barrels. So let's open it up. Let's move this out of the way. Top lever opens. They were all extractors only, no ejectors available on this gun. 2 3/4 inch chambers, and it's marked as such on the barrels. So to take it apart, and this is what I'm talking about, we have to snap it closed. The fore end is held on just by spring tension, so it's just a matter of pulling that loose. There's a plunger and spring in there. I believe we may have just assisted with that closing issue. So now we can rotate this out. So on these bores, I don't know if you can get on the bottom of these barrels, if you can get a shot of that, they're choke marked on the bottom, and this one is modified and cylinder bore. So kind of unique in double barrel shotguns, particularly U.S. manufactured double barrel shotguns. We don't have a solid lump here. There's 2 individual lumps, one on each barrel, with a channel in between for the cocking slide that manipulates these cocking levers on the inside of the receiver. And then we have the 2 extractors, 2 individual extractors for the barrel. They're not a bridged extractor like you typically see on, insert brand name here, Savage Stevens comes to mind. So kind of unique in the construction, and we can kind of see how we got to where we are with this gun. A really utilitarian shotgun, and you do see them on the used market now. So the top lever trip on these guns is these cocking levers. So when the barrel water table closes, the lumps close. That's what closes this. That's what allows the top snap to come closed, particularly on that one right there. So it's not being activated. So we're going to take the fore-end iron out of the wood, and we see that we have a chip mark right here out of the wood here, so we're going to figure out what's going on with that. We may need to just simply relieve some of the wood here to allow the gun to seat to close a little bit more firmly. So we're going to take the fore-end iron out of the wood, attach it to the barrels, and operate it without the wood to see if that doesn't fix the problem. And if it does, we know then we just need to shave some right here to make that gun work. So what do these things bring on the used market? They're actually really affordable. The Model 21 is a multi-$1,000 shotgun, depending on the grade and the gauge. That can be well into the 5 digits, depending on how embellished it is. A field grade 21 is still a few $1,000s, but these aren't. And we look at the same thing we always look at, right? The originality, scarcity, and condition. So, originality, we're not refinished here. We still have the Winchester marked hard butt plate, which is correct for 39 or for 40. Post-war, we start to see maybe some pads on 12 gauge, things of that nature, but the stock's not been shortened. Everything is still present. We're not reblued, so we're happy with the originality. The condition, one of the things to look for, really on any double shotgun set, but particularly the 24, the barrels are somewhat thin. even though we have a really thick lump section back here, you know, where it meets up to the water table, creates the water table of the gun. But forward of the fore-end hanger, they're relatively thin, so you always want to look for dents. And we can raise dents on shotgun barrels. In most cases, we can't do much about bulges, but we can raise dents in a lot of cases. But these barrels are clean and good, and the bores are good. So that's great. And scarcity, they're not, I'm going to say they're uncommon, but they're not particularly scarce. Again, 116,000 were produced in the life of the model, and 12 gauge being the most common, and then 16 and then 20 during that time frame. So it's of and the pre-war guns with the modified cylinder bore choke constriction is one of the rarer combinations. Once we get past World War II, we get into the late 40s and through the rest of the production run into the late 50s, we typically see that being improved cylinder and modified on 26 inches and then modified full on the 28-inch guns and on the 30-inch guns at 12 gauge. So ICN modified, cylinder and modified is a little on the more uncommon side. So realistically, it's still not a $1,000 gun at retail. People can ask that. I'm not sure that it's going to bring it. That's probably all the money in a typical hunting condition gun. Now, obviously, a high condition gun can bring more than that. But on a gun where it shows, you know, considerable finish wear, this is a natural carry point for the gun. So we see a lot of finish wear here. I think it's a $700 to $800 gun, probably all day long. So it's a good opportunity to get a nice pre-64, if you will, Winchester-made U.S. shotgun without breaking the bank. So that's the Winchester 24. And if you like what we're doing, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. We try to post at least 1 or 2 videos a week on certain things. And drop a comment in the comment section. We appreciate when you do that. We look at all that stuff. So anyway, thanks for watching this, and we'll see you on the next one.